Hi viewers, welcome to another exciting episode of The AI People, where we share inspiring stories of thinkers and builders who are humanizing AI. Today again we are at RSA conference. It's the biggest cybersecurity conference. It's day 3 and I can really feel the excitement on the show floor, having interacted with a lot of AI experts and also companies that are innovating to stay ahead of the cybersecurity curve. And right now the curveball is agentic AI, and a lot of companies are helping customers and society at large adapt to some of these emerging threats. And I have with me Ahmed, who is co-founder and CEO of a really exciting company that is addressing some of these challenges. I'll let Ahmed add more context here.
Thank you very much, Vivek. Thanks for having me on the show today. So indeed, as you mentioned, I'm the CEO and co-founder of Kibla AI, which is an AI company for security operation centers, helping SOC teams drastically increase their efficiency, helping them repel attacks much faster with the highest level of accuracy on the market. And so yeah, we work with typically very large organizations across the globe, helping their teams improve the defensive posture as a whole.
That's great. And one question that I start with is, what are some of the trends that you're seeing right now in cybersecurity? As someone who is living and breathing this day in and day out and interacting with both your customers as well as employees, you have the pulse of the market. So what would you say are some of the key trends, especially in the context of AI?
I'd say that AI is not new to cybersecurity by any means. It's something that has been widely used for a decade now. But let's say that until a couple of years ago, it was mostly used on the detection side. You have AI within the EDRs, you have AI within the NDR side on the network, etc. But more and more so, we're starting to see AI focus on the operational side of things. And that's clearly what we're doing ourselves. We're helping teams deal with alerts, deal with incidents, and so we're moving from a detection-centered usage of AI to something that's much more output-centered, to something that really helps reduce the amount of manual labor needed for the defensive side of things. And I think like that's a massive change, and the output of that is simply better posture. We're trying to level the field a little bit to make it a bit harder for the attackers and to make sure that, yeah, on the defensive side, we can actually react as soon as possible. And I feel like that's one massive change in the way of using AI.
That's great. And what do you think is the most interesting problem to solve today at the intersection of cybersecurity and AI, or cybersecurity and agentic AI, and something that you are also learning after being here at the RSA conference that you think will be of value to your customers?
I don't think it's a single problem, a single challenge that we're trying to solve. My answer can sound surprising, but it's actually trust. Really, when you think about what these agents are doing, they are running autonomous actions. Within Kibla, for example, we don't have a chatbot. We're not a chatbot. You cannot talk to us. The AI just autonomously runs action. And when you think about that, really the underlying hypothesis for people to use it is that they can trust the system. They can understand why it came to any conclusion, what steps it went through. And we have a specific way of doing that. We're not an LLM company. We don't just throw everything in LLM and hope it works, because it doesn't. It can, but whenever you face like multiple alerts or like phishing campaigns or EDR alerts that repeat themselves, the issue you have is the approach will be inconsistent. So really, for me, it's as simple as building trust towards the tool. Otherwise, you will just leverage a wonderful technology as copilots, as assistants, and therefore you're dramatically reducing the ROI.
Yeah, so trust is one of the assets that companies possess, the trusted relationship that you have with customers. And obviously, a lot of companies here at RSA are also addressing some of the similar challenges with similar technologies. So how can, while preserving the trust with your existing customers, how can you also encourage customers to innovate along with you? And what differentiated capabilities you are planning to bring to the market, or you already have in the market, that sets you apart from the other players in the same category?
That's actually a very good question, because indeed, like, AI is a crowded thing in security. Like everyone talks about AI. I think that really when I meant trust, I obviously mean trust in the company itself, but I really mean trust in the product. And so really, it's as simple as being able to explain the decision making behind it. You do not want your product to behave as a black box. You do not want your product to, in X% of cases, say that an alert is malicious, and then when faced with the exact same alert, with the exact same set of logs, to say that it actually is completely benign, because therefore you're completely destroying the trust that people may have built towards your product. So for us, it's the architecture. We have a unique architecture. We do use LLMs. We do use them quite extensively, but we don't think they're the panacea. We don't think they're able to do everything by themselves, and we think that our approach uses generative AI, but the brain of Kevlar is actually a graph. So we model everything as a graph, and this graph will be responsible for choosing which agents we will call. Some of them can be LLM based, some of them can be classic machine learning, statistical learning based approaches, but by gluing all of that together, the graph is ultimately responsible for what direction we take, how we pivot, how deep the investigation is, etc. And by leveraging both, we kind of have a smarter approach, one that's much more efficient, that's much less costly as well, because we don't talk enough about the cost of LLMs, but they're a massive challenge to the margins of the vendors. And so yeah, that's how we have chosen to approach the problem. It happens that the two founders of Kevlar, we are machine learning engineers, we're not cybersecurity professionals, so we crafted something from the angle of how do we solve the AI problem first, and we chose to apply it to cybersecurity.
Got it. All right, so Ahmed, I know you have a very impressive platform, and you also mentioned about some customers who are seeing success with your platform. Can you share more about some of the success that you're driving to your customers?
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to the customer base, we work with two types of customers. Essentially, very large organizations like German car manufacturers, telcos across the globe, Sodexo, which is a massive 450,000 employee-wide organization. But we also work with MSSPs, helping them deliver a better quality of service to their end customers, helping them improve their SLAs, differentiate themselves in a very competitive market as well. And really, when it comes to the ROI, I think we're in a space where it's fairly easy for a CISO to measure the ROI. They can just compare the accuracy of Kevlar to the accuracy of their existing systems before Kevlar gets added to the group. They can measure how more effective, efficient the system gets, and therefore they can make for an enlightened decision. And when it comes to ROI that our customers have seen on the ground, the very minimum is 30% reduction of the average time spent per investigation. We even have cases where we went up to 90%, and all of that is on our website, where we have customer studies that testify about this. So clearly there is a tremendous ROI for customers, and we're more than happy to continue pushing the boundaries even further.
That's awesome. Well, I know Kevlar is rapidly growing and expanding across the globe, and I wish you guys all the very best
Thanks,
for the rest of RSC as well as beyond.